Fishers, we've got some fantastic fishing around us in a few areas. I was just talking to my old mate Mazo down Compleat Angler in Lavington, and he tells me that they're getting a bit of activity out of Dartmouth. They're working pretty hard for it. But the Reg Dam just below Dart's the one that's fired up. There was another nice trout caught there the other day, 3.1 kilo. Just walking the bank, casting lures. Can't put a boat on there, but casting lures or bait fishing off the bank's been pretty productive there, so we're pretty happy with that. Anyone that's been fishing the streams will know that all the streams have been fishing incredibly well. There's not too many that aren't at the moment. The Midder and all those areas down through there, Victorian streams are fantastic. Hoppers, crickets, small lures, flies, whatever your poison is, you'll get some really, really good fish. So it's certainly worth the effort. And there's nothing more interesting than fishing a stream. Probably doesn't get the heart pumping as much as catching a monster fish, but it certainly does get me excited. So it's worth the effort down there. Hume Weir, look, almost everybody is catching a feed of redfin. There is occasionally people that'll miss out, but most of the time it's good. I'd say 90%, 95% are catching fish. Occasionally you'll get out there and you'll just miss the mark. But if you look around far enough, you'll find really good redfin there. They don't tend to be as big as the ones in Blowering, but they're not too bad. You should get a feed. Still a few yellows getting caught and the occasional cod. So the Hume Weir is looking like it could be worth a hit on the weekend, depending on the weather, and weather looks like it's going to be quite promising actually. Mulwala, getting good reports from Mulwala. There's quite a few people down there trolling at the moment. Seems to be in very, very shallow water as the most consistent catches. Small hammerheads seem to be one of the most consistent lures as well. About sort of 1.5 metres to 2 metres of water seems to be reasonably early. Keep the lure in quite close behind the boat, and electric motor trolling if you've got one. If not, just use your outboard and just keep it as quiet as possible. Just keep the revs down, slow as you can, and you should do okay. Surface lure fishing, definitely worth the effort. Pretty well everywhere you go at the moment. Mulwala in particular, the surface lure fishing is very, very good. Now, because we've gone away from the full moon, I'd suggest probably your best action is going to be from about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning right through till about daylight or a bit after, or at least till the sun hits the water. It should be good. Murrumbidgee River around Wagga, tremendous. You're not going to get much better than that. Just go out, catch a few fish, have a lot of fun. Lure fishing, bait fishing, doesn't seem to matter. Getting a lot of small fish, but you will get some decent sized cod if you target and put some time and effort in. Old Man Creek, a bit inconsistent in height, but they are catching a few fish out of it, so it's certainly worth the effort at the moment. Blowering Dam, that lead up to the full moon, a lot of fish, a lot of cod caught, huge amount of cod, but a lot of small cod, which I thought there would have been more bigger ones. There has been a few meteries, but there was huge amounts of small fish, sort of that 30 to about the 50, 55, so it's certainly worth, and most of those are on the troll. In the shallow water, the closer or shallow you got, the more fish you're picking up, so it's certainly worth the effort after dark. At the moment, from about 3 or 4 in the morning right through till probably 10, 11 o'clock, I think you'll get some good results. Redfin up there in good enough numbers. Burrinjuck, it's not too bad. The reddies are pretty good. The yellows are a little bit tough if you're not used to fishing the juck. I think you'll find you'll get plenty around the timber, especially up around the back of Wade Island, up towards Carey's Reserve, one of my favourite spots. Scrubby little scrubby, everybody knows. You'll pick up a few there. Just a matter of moving around and finding the right tree. They're not under every tree. Keep that one in mind. Black soft plastics, shrimp, small yabbies, worms, you will catch fish on any of those. And obviously through the middle of the day, if you want to go and troll a tide, you will pick one up. And that last hour before dark, work those rocky banks in about sort of 15 to about 30 feet of water. You'll get some good yellows doing that. Wangler, still getting good reports from. Yukonbean, Jindabyne, Tintangara, all pretty good. Yukonbean slowed down a little bit, but we're getting some pretty reasonable reports out of there. Tintangara Dam in particular, surprisingly enough, and I've said it every week, it is still cracking. It's getting quite a few trout out of there at the moment. The yabbies are still on at Yukonbean. By the way, we haven't got many out of Dartmouth this time. So as you can see, there's a fair bit of activity around us. This is the Compleat Anglers Fishing Report for this week. We'll catch you next week.